Good morning. What is it? Oh boy. Week 9? I don't know. Oh my god, week 10. I really need to keep track of this. Okay. So here's what we're going to do this week / today. I'm recording this on Saturday. I'm going to upload it on Saturday. I think that will give us... I don't expect you guys to do anything on a Sunday, obviously. But if you'd like, I want you to have the opportunity. This week's PowerPoint, Civil Rights and Liberties, is very, very short. So we're going to, mainly this lecture is going to be like kind of housekeeping, get our ish together, let's kind of rally situation, because the PowerPoint is super short and we still have, we're going to have a ton of empty weeks of no PowerPoints, and I'll probably come in, I might upload just a lecture of talking through some stuff, and then I will definitely have open office hours during this week, which is basically I'll probably give a Zoom link and I'll just sit on the Zoom for an amount of time, and you can just hop into the Zoom. It would be really helpful if you guys could tell me what time that would be best for you, so I can adjust that to make sure that people can show up if they'd like. Anyway, long story short, we're going to do a lot of housekeeping today. This lecture is very short, and it's really only a separate lecture because your essay is on it. Your essay is not due for a long time, but I want to give this to you early so you have plenty of time. This week, you do have your case study, so please make sure that you're doing that before you think ahead an entire 4 weeks. I have graded all of the movie assignments that I got. There were a lot of people who didn't turn it in. I'm not quite sure why that is. Again, this is a get your ish together kind of week, so let me know. And then I think I touched a little bit on the exam last week, but I want to go over it again just a little separately. And yeah, so that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to do some housekeeping stuff first. The first thing, obviously, again, your case study is due today. Your exam 3 is 2 Fridays from now. And then your essay, your final homework, which is very, very easy, and then your final exam, and that'll be it. You'll have all the information you need for your final homework by this week, in this week 13 lecture. So you'll have 2 weeks to do it. It's just all the other, it's the very first homework and then all the assignments. You just do it. It's practice. I'm not going to grade on correct answers because if you don't care about having correct answers, then you're not going to have the correct answers on the final, and that is your prerogative. But as long as you do it, you'll get points. It's only 25 points, but you'll get them. So we're going to touch about all of these assignments. I'm going to give all of them to you, and then we'll do our little lecture. All right, so here we are. Let's do the assignment that is due this Friday. So that is your case studies or your case briefs. This is what it looks like. You have to do 2 case briefs. Again, I know I already gave this information. I'm going to give it to you again. You have to do 2. You have to do Brown versus Board of Education. You cannot not do it. You will lose 25 points if you don't do it. And then for your second case, I give you this massive list. You can pick from any of these cases. I chose this list primarily based on foundational cases, cases that set precedent, cases that had precedent overturned. But if there's another case that you are interested in for one reason or another, please feel free to email or Discord me and just be like, hey, I'm interested in this case, and I'll probably just let you do it, as long as you are interested in it and have a reason for being interested in it. Otherwise, here's your list. So do Brown versus Board of Education, and then pick whichever one of these few that you want. You just need one. You're only doing 2 cases. Here's what you need to have. You need to have the facts, the issues, the holdings, the rationale, and the opinions. This is what any case brief looks like. If any of you are considering going to law school, you need to know how to do this. You're going to do it over and over and over again. You can give this to me in one of 2 ways. You can lay it out like this, where it's section by section, or you can put it all together in a paragraph, whichever you prefer. I prefer this section layout. I think it's easier for me to find the information. I also think it's easier for you to organize and make sure that you're putting in all of the information. But if for some reason you'd like to write paragraph form, by all means, please do. Just make sure your information is there. However you choose to introduce it and lay it out, all cool. Just make sure that it's there. All of this is uploaded on Brightspace already. It's uploaded both under the content assignments homework section and also in the assignment. So if you were to go to Brightspace, we'll come back to this in a minute. If you were to go to Brightspace and go to content, come down here to homeworks and assignments, case brief, there's a Google Doc or a Word doc, and then a PDF, just so everyone can open it. But also if you go to assignments and you find the movie assignment, which is coming up, and you click on it, it's attached. Oh, this is the movie assignment. I'm so sorry. What am I talking about? Your case study assignment. It's attached here, so you can also access it that way. Whichever way is easiest for you to access. And again, this is due this Friday, November 1st at 11:59 p.m. my time, which is 4 a.m. your time. I just want to lay something out for you guys real quick. If for some reason you can't get into Brightspace, or you can't open, you can't submit the assignment in Brightspace, there's a lot of other ways to turn these assignments in, and I really, in the nicest way possible, I just feel like just turn it in however you can turn it in, and you don't have to email me asking for solutions. I think you can problem solve. So you can email it to me, or you can do a Google Doc and share the Google Doc with me. If you do that, please make sure I can view the Google Doc. Go up to your let me just show you. Please make sure you do this. If you have your here we are, okay? Go to share, anyone with the link, and then send me the link. If you do not do that, if it is on restricted, I cannot open it, and I will not give you a grade. So please, if you can't submit on Brightspace, and for some reason you can't email, and you have to send a link, that's cool. Just make sure I can open the link. If you're having issues with your Brightspace, you should really talk to IT. Unfortunately, I have no access or control. I cannot help you if you cannot get into your Brightspace. You'll have to talk to IT either at the school or through the university. Maybe it's a computer issue. I'm not really sure, but I can't help you with it, unfortunately. I don't have access to do that. All I can see is who does the assignments, and I can see your names. And that's it. I have no access to help you. But you're still responsible for the assignments. So please reach out to IT. Not having access to Brightspace is not a reason to not know what's going on, especially because these are uploaded on the YouTube page, and you should be able to find them even if you can't get to Brightspace. All of that being said, that is your case brief assignment. That is how you upload assignments. That is my expectation for the class. The next thing is your exam 3. So to do that, I want to go, I should have kept that. Gosh dang it. hold on. I might have to stop recording for a second. Can I see this? No, I cannot. Okay. Anyway, I can't show it to you because then you'll see each other's grades if I try to pull up how I did it earlier. But basically, your second exam was a little rough, and I think, like, that's okay. There was a lot of media, there were a lot of terms, a lot of definitions. The second exam usually does have a lower average than the first exam. The only issue I foresee, guys, is that I gave you this quiz that, I'm not kidding you, had all of the questions. Like, all of the questions that were on the exam are in this quiz. So there's only 11 kids who are even in the class. And at this point, I'm not really sure what else to do. So I've already uploaded the exam 3 situation. So I'm going to upload this link to join the class as soon as I upload the lecture. Please join the class. I've already assigned the exam 3 prep. Why is it called this? This is not. I keep changing this and it keeps not. Exam 3 prep. So this is your exam 3 prep. Okay, whatever. And similarly, like, it has questions from the final. I'll even give it to you. Like, we'll do a quick scroll through if you want to read. So please join the class. Please practice for the exam. Again, you can also always email me or Discord me with questions regarding the study guide or the actual exam or any specific questions. Maybe you don't understand the tiers of the federal judiciary, like whatever that may be. And you can do this quiz as many times as you want. You can practice over and over and over again. So please join the class and please practice for your third exam that is coming up soon, because I would really appreciate seeing that you guys are trying. So that's that. Again, I will post this link when I post the link to the lecture. Please join, please practice. Hopefully the third exam goes better than the second exam. That said, a couple of you do have extra credit that you all emailed me from the debate. And I've mentioned this a couple times, I don't just like put that anywhere. I save it. And then either you can choose when to use it, or if you don't, I will just add it to like a random assignment or the random grade at the end of the semester. So if you didn't do as great as you had wanted on the exam, or maybe you didn't turn in the movie assignment, let me know if you have extra credit and I can add that for you. Otherwise, that's it for the exam. So our next thing is our essay, which is due right before, like, technically the day that Thanksgiving break starts. I'm hoping that you obviously all turn it in Tuesday or Wednesday, and then you can have a break. And then your next homework isn't due until a week after that. So you get a whole week from this break. I also won't be having a lecture that week. You'll get a whole week off, and then the final, which again, I need to say, I'd always change this and then don't save it. I will change that. It'll just be the Friday of finals week. Super easy. I think I'll probably have it open early though. So if you want to complete the exam early and just like maybe you want to take it on Tuesday and be done, then by all means, please do. Same thing as always though. Once you open it, it's going to submit. You only have one attempt. So don't open it if you can't take the full exam or if you don't have time or you're not ready. But I'll have it open for the whole week. And you can take it whenever you want. So, our essay, which is based on today's lecture, Civil Rights and Liberties, just like our first essay, here's our rubric. Looks the exact same, except it has these questions. This essay is a little longer. I need an extra 300 words from you, and I need 6 sources. Again, these sources can come from any scholarly Google Scholar, the library database. They can be a .org. It can be an article. The Constitution counts. The slides count. But like citing a news article does not count as a scholarly source. An academic article is a scholarly source. So here's how it will look. I've already assigned your essay assignments. So here they are. And this is once again on Brightspace. Already uploaded both under the essay content, but also on the assignment itself. The assignment itself has the rubric, your assignments, and then the PowerPoint if you need help. So here are your assignments. If I give you, like, the First Amendment is split up into 3 sections here. Only write your essay on that section. You're only writing your essay on the section of religion or speech. You're not writing the entire First Amendment. There's like 7 parts to it. It's a little complicated. So here's your assignments. If for some reason you have an issue with your assignment, just let me know. I'd prefer if you switched with somebody. That way we still have a relatively even number of assignments. I didn't assign these any specific way. I literally just went down alphabetical order by your last name and assigned them. So I went down the list first, and then I came back up and went down again. And those are your assignments already uploaded. So that's that. And then I will teach you these today. That's our lecture today. It'll be pretty short. And then you should have everything you need for the essay. You should also have everything you need for the exam. So exam 3, let me pull up the study guide for you. Exam 3, study guide. So exam 3 is the judicial branch, the presidency, and the bureaucracy. Those are all last week's. So we've already finished. You have everything you need for the 3rd exam. You have your study guide, which is uploaded. You have all of the PowerPoints and the lectures, which are all uploaded. And now you have the quizzes, which you should join the class and practice. And they're all good. You're all good for the 3rd exam. So, here's what we look like, okay? Our case studies this Friday. Need 2 case studies. I don't care which one you do. If you want to do a different one, just let me know. You have to let me know. You can't just turn in a different assignment and not tell me that that's what you're doing. Like, I need to approve it before you turn it in. You have everything you need for your 3rd exam. And after today, you have everything you need for your 2nd essay. Your last homework is very easy. I'll just actually show it to you very, very quickly. Here it is. It's 20 questions, basically true and false. I give you a sentence. You're selecting what it is. And we will go over empirical, normative, causation, correlation, independent, dependent, and zero and non-zero sum over the next 3 or 4 PowerPoints. So then by the time this homework is due, you have everything you need. Your final exam is not cumulative. It looks exactly like all of your other exams. The only thing, there are more questions, and there are these sections. It also covers 4 PowerPoints rather than just 3. But it will be the exact same. I will talk a little bit more about it next week probably, but that's your final homework. Again, this is already uploaded, so if you think you know independent, dependent variable and you want to do the homework, by all means, you're totally welcome to. Everything's up on Brightspace, but you do have a while. And that's the rest of our semester. After that, we are all good and done, ready to go. So again, questions, thoughts, concerns, email me or message me on Discord. Either one works for me. I don't really care. I'm available. And we're halfway through. More than halfway through. We only have a couple of weeks left. So get excited. All right. We're going to do this super quickly. It won't take a ton of time. Civil rights and liberties. Civil rights. Civil rights are the basic right to be free from unequal treatment based on certain protected characteristics, race, gender, disability, etc. in settings such as employment, education, housing, and access to public facilities. Most civil rights laws are established through the federal government. So all of the stuff that's like a person with a service dog cannot be stopped from going into a store. That's part of a civil right. Title IX stuff, that's a civil rights stuff. All that kind of thing, like how this impacts you in your daily life. Civil rights are literally just the basic right to be free from unequal treatment, aka discrimination of some kind, in specific settings, beholden mostly to the federal government, sometimes the state government. Civil liberties are rights and freedoms that are guaranteed. So these are given to you. So here's our main difference, okay? Civil rights is freedom from something. Freedom from unequal treatment. Freedom from discrimination. Civil liberties are guaranteed to you. They are given to you, either through the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, or interpreted and referred by the courts or the Congress itself throughout the years. So, a basic right and freedom, all of our amendments. Your right to vote, that is a basic right and freedom. Your freedom of speech, that is a basic right and freedom. And that it is given to you explicitly by our Constitution. You have it. Civil rights are things that cannot be taken from you, aka you cannot be discriminated against because of your race or your gender or your disability. Pregnant women cannot be fired from their jobs because they are pregnant. That's discrimination. That is a civil right. Their right to go out and vote is a civil liberty. That is our main difference. If you don't get this difference, again, feel free to email or Discord me. Here it is. Freedom from discrimination or freedoms that are given to you. Freedom from something or freedom to do something. That's the difference. Substantive liberties are restraints limiting what the government can do, right? So the government cannot restrict your freedom of speech. That is a substantive liberty. Procedural liberties are restraints on how the government can act. So, you are guaranteed due process of law. The government cannot just put you in a jail for no reason without you having been charged, without you having had a trial, without you having talked to an attorney, without you having a phone call, right? These are things that the government must do, how it must act. These are things that they cannot do. That's the difference. There's this fun crash course video. How long is it? That's rough. I will post the crash course video when I post the lecture. And what happened to my lecture? Where'd it go? I'll post that. I recommend you watch it. It's just a fun video about liberties and rights and all kinds of stuff. Here's the bulk of our stuff. All of your amendments. I recommend that you look first. Pause the video. Go look. See which amendment you are assigned for your second essay. And really hone in on that. Really come back to this and watch. You should watch all of them. Watch the entire lecture. But really, really, really focus on whichever one it is that you are assigned. So, the First Amendment guarantees multiple things. Speech, freedom of speech, religion, press, assembly. This is really bad of me. I really should be better at this. Me with my little pocket constitution. Oh, I had them all. I thought there were 5. Anyway, here it is. Religion, speech, press, assembly. Oh, there are 5. Petition. Which is the right to petition the government for redress of grievances, aka you can appeal, right? If you get convicted of a crime, you can appeal it. If you are doing religion, here is your section. The Establishment Clause provides that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, aka separation between church and state. The Free Exercise Clause protects an individual's right to believe and practice whatever religion he or she chooses. You can practice whatever religion you want. You cannot practice a religion at all, based on the First Amendment. This is why, what's a good example of this? So like how schools do the Pledge of Allegiance, and there was a court case in the 1900s, sometime in, I think it was the mid to late 1900s, because the Pledge of Allegiance says the word under God, right? In public schools, which are funded through public dollars and is a government institution, essentially, through in that way, you do not have to say the Pledge of Allegiance, basically. Here's my point. You do not have to say the Pledge of Allegiance. If you sit down and do not stand and do not recite it, you cannot get in trouble. Teachers cannot kick you out of class. You will not be sent to the principal's office. You might get some dirty looks from other people. I don't know. Depends on where you're at. But generally speaking, right, you are not required and you cannot be punished if you do not say the Pledge of Allegiance. Because per a Supreme Court case, saying or using the words under God is public respect of a religion. What some people will do is they'll do the Pledge of Allegiance and just not say under God. Some people will do a whole thing and they just won't stand or speak or whatever. And you can do any of those things. And whatever your solution is, you cannot get in trouble for it. Yeah. So that's our first amendment of religion. We also have speech, which is scrutiny places the burden on the government to prove that a restriction on speech is constitutional. You are allowed to say whatever you want. Political speech, symbolic speech, flag burning, speeches in literature, they are all protected. You cannot be charged for burning the American flag. There is a distinct exclusion. What's the word I'm looking for? There are exceptions. There's a distinct exception. And these are clear and present danger, libel, slander, or advertising. You cannot yell fire in a movie theater. You also cannot go on national news and start slandering someone's character or saying they committed a crime they did not commit, you can get in trouble for that. You can be sued. This is supposed to say libel, not liberal. Libel or slander. You can be sued for those things. You are not protected. You are also not protected if you yell fire in a movie theater or on an airplane. And then the third one is press, which is the freedom of speech, but very specifically for the news media. Why does it say liberal again? That's so weird. Again, same thing. Clear and present danger, libel, slander, and advertising are not protected. I did not include the other pieces of the First Amendment, mainly because I wanted to make sure we get through all of the amendments. But assembly is the right to assemble, aka you can meet in a hall, you can form a protest, etc., etc. And then right to petition, again, you can appeal, of course, a court case. Second Amendment, I'm sure we're all very familiar with this. It's always in the news. Is a well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of the free state, is the right of the people to keep and bear arms, shall not be infringed upon, aka American citizens have the right to bear arms. However, this right can be regulated by state and federal law, and how they regulate it is often the cause for concern. It's where you see all of the controversy. I think another key part here that people often skipped over is this whole, well-regulated militia thing. But either way, right? The right of the people to keep and bear arms. And arms is capitalized. That's how you know it's important. The Fourth Amendment, I skipped the third. If you Google it, you'll find out why. We just don't really use it. I should. I hate typing because I know that it's super loud for you guys, but I should just do this so I can show you what they are, even if I don't introduce them to you. Oh, I've got to do the whole thing? There we go. Scroll down. Okay, so the Third Amendment is quartering of soldiers, aka soldiers living in your home during wartime. That's not really happening anymore. I just skipped over it. We have the Fourth Amendment, which protects from unreasonable search and seizure, aka people cannot just bust into your house and tear all your stuff apart and take what they want and look through everything. Unless they have a warrant. If they have a warrant, they can do whatever they want. They can look through anything they want. Computers, phones, homes, basements, enclosed spaces, etc., etc. They also cannot search you, aka they cannot pat you down. They cannot check your pockets, check your belongings, or your cars. They cannot check your car. This is a big thing in the law, is the debate over whether you should admit or allow a search and seizure if you haven't done anything wrong. Some people say I haven't done anything wrong, so I should allow a search and seizure. Some people in the law would say no, it doesn't matter if you haven't done anything wrong. Never let them search anything, make them get a warrant. The key here, it is not applicable to students in schools. Your locker is not your locker. It can be searched. Your car on school grounds can be searched. Your book bag can be searched. They can take your phone. They can take your laptop. It's mainly the locker thing. Your locker is not secret. They're allowed to bust into your locker whenever they want. It's school property. We skipped a bunch. Now we're on the 8th. So we skipped the 1st, or the 5th, which is basically like your due process. We skipped the 6th, which is a speedy and public trial, and then we skipped the 7th, which is your, again, right to trial. So you have a right to trial. This is your right to due process. This is a speedy trial. This is the right to a trial. They're very similar, that's why I skipped them. Now we're on the 8th. The 8th is similar in that you cannot have excessive bail, excessive fines, or cruel and unusual punishments. If you steal a loaf of bread from a grocery store, they cannot put you to death. That is a cruel and unusual punishment. If you steal a loaf of bread from the grocery store, they cannot set your bail at $1 million. That's excessive. What will probably happen in this case, if that were to happen, is they would probably try to do it, and then there would be an appeal. And your attorney would appeal it, and then it would get overturned. But it doesn't stop them from doing it, really. It just stops it from being enforced. We skipped a bunch. The 9th is, AKA, you have rights. The 10th is the power given to the states, right? We talked about that when we talked about federalism. The 11th is judicial power again. There's a lot of, like, court things. The 12th Amendment is the Electoral College, which we've already talked about, so we just skipped ahead to the 13th. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as punishment for a crime, shall exist in the United States. AKA, we don't have slavery or involuntary servitude unless you have been convicted of a crime. Some people feel a very certain type of way about that. This is primarily why when people are in jail and they're working the jobs in jail, they get paid a lot less than any minimum wage, because technically they're serving it, like, not technically, they're serving for a crime, therefore it is part of the punishment. It's also why they oftentimes aren't getting paid at all, right? Like, they're just working. And that is because they are serving as a punishment for their crime. The 14th is equal protection, aka no state shall make or enforce law which abridges, violates the privileges of citizens of the United States, depriving any person of life, liberty, property, without due process of law. So you can be deprived of your life or your liberty if you have gone to trial, if you've had due process. Also, you cannot deny to any person within jurisdiction equal protection of the law. A lot of people would interpret this to mean that even if you are not a citizen, you are still protected. Some people would say that's not the case. There is debate over it. But the main thing is this equal protection, right? So any right or any liberty given to you by the federal government, aka your right to assemble, your right of freedom, your right of speech, your right of religion, cannot be violated by a state. The state of Ohio cannot tell you you have to practice a certain religion, or that you cannot use free speech. That is a violation of your 14th Amendment. Your 15 deals with voting, which prohibits the federal government from denying or abridging a citizen's right to vote on account of race, color, or previous conditions of servitude. This is what allowed black men to vote. Again, men, right? You see we're just race, color, or previous condition. The 19th is for women to vote. So you cannot be denied based on account of sex, aka gender. Simple terms, gender, and if you're a woman. We did skip some stuff. So we skipped the 16th, the 17th, and the 18th. 16th is taxes. The 17th is our senators. And then the 18th is getting rid of prohibition. Or the 18th is prohibition. So that's why I didn't give you those. So those are my reasons for not having given you the ones that I didn't give you. Here are the amendments that we've gone over. Again, I've already made these assignments. That's not the right one. That's not the right one. Where is the right one? Sorry, hold on. Here we go. Here are your assignments. Please look at them carefully and make sure you understand what you're writing your essay to over. If you don't, please let me know. I believe that is all I have for you. I'm going to post this. When I post this, I will also post a link for the crash course video and the link for the quizzes class, which I really, really strongly urge you to join and practice so our third exam can be better than our second exam. But as always, the study guide is also already uploaded, so you have all of that. And yeah, let me know if you have questions, especially on your case briefs that are due on Friday. And I will see you next week.